Something extraordinary just happened in the Caribbean, and almost nobody noticed. While the world was distracted, Amazon made a move that will reshape how millions of people in an entire region receive their packages, do business, and connect with global commerce. This isn't just about faster shipping. This is about power. This is about control. And this is about a billion-dollar logistics chess game where the next move could change everything for an entire collection of island nations. What Amazon just announced in the Dominican Republic isn't simply a new warehouse or a distribution center. It's a strategic weapon in the most sophisticated supply chain war the world has ever seen. And here's what makes this absolutely fascinating. The Dominican Republic is just the opening move. The real question everyone should be asking right now is not what Amazon just did, but what Amazon is about to do next. Before we go any further, if you want to stay ahead of major business moves like this and understand the strategies that billion-dollar companies don't want you to see coming, hit that subscribe button right now. We're on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and every single one of you watching this helps us bring more breaking analysis like this to light. Now, let's dive into what's really happening in the Caribbean. Amazon has officially launched a fully integrated logistics hub in the Dominican Republic. And when I say fully integrated, I mean this facility is unlike almost anything else in the Caribbean right now. This isn't just a building with boxes. This is a sophisticated nerve center that combines airport access and seaport access in one strategic location. Think about that for a moment. Most logistics operations have to choose between air freight or ocean freight, coordinating between separate facilities, dealing with multiple transportation networks. Amazon just eliminated that entire problem in one move. The Dominican Republic hub connects directly with scheduled Amazon air flights running between the Dominican Republic and Miami. What this means in practical terms is that products that once took 2 weeks, 3 weeks, sometimes even a month to reach Caribbean customers can now arrive in a matter of days. We're talking about a complete transformation of the consumer experience for millions of people across multiple countries. The location of this hub was chosen with surgical precision. The facility is positioned near Las Americas International Airport, which handles both passenger traffic and cargo operations. But that's only half the equation. The hub is also adjacent to Caucedo Port, one of the most technologically advanced container ports in the entire Caribbean region, managed by DP World, one of the largest port operators on the planet. What does Amazon get from this dual-access setup? Speed, flexibility, and redundancy. If air freight gets expensive or capacity becomes limited, they shift to ocean freight. If ocean freight is too slow for certain products, they move everything by air. They can split shipments, optimize costs in real time, and most importantly, they never have to rely on a single transportation method. This is logistics mastery. But here's what most people completely miss. The Dominican Republic hub isn't just serving the Dominican Republic. Amazon has made it clear that this facility is designed to serve the wider Caribbean and significant portions of Latin America. We're talking about a potential customer base of hundreds of millions of people across every island nation in the Caribbean, Central America, and northern parts of South America. And this transforms the entire economic landscape for small businesses and entrepreneurs across the region. Before this hub existed, a small business owner in Jamaica or Trinidad who wanted to sell products internationally faced massive barriers. Shipping was expensive. Delivery times were unreliable. International logistics was a nightmare. Now, with Amazon's infrastructure in place, that same business owner can potentially tap into Amazon's network, reach customers faster, and compete on a level that was simply impossible before. Now here's where the story takes a fascinating turn, and this is where that billion-dollar logistics chess game really comes into play. Amazon's global business model has never been about putting all their eggs in one basket. The company operates on a philosophy of networked hubs, Multiple facilities, strategically positioned, working together to create redundancy and maximize efficiency. If one hub goes down due to weather, if another hits capacity limits, the network keeps running because other hubs pick up the slack. So the obvious question becomes, where does Amazon go next in the Caribbean? And when you start analyzing the Caribbean through the lens of logistics strategy, when you look at infrastructure, geography, existing capabilities, and operational readiness, one country rises to the top so clearly that it's almost shocking more people aren't talking about it. Jamaica. And before you think this is just speculation, let me break down exactly why Jamaica isn't just a good candidate for Amazon's next Caribbean hub. It's the only logical candidate. Let's start with air connectivity. Jamaica maintains non-stop cargo flights that connect directly to the United States. These aren't passenger flights with a little cargo space. These are dedicated cargo operations linking Jamaica with Amazon's major U.S. bases. That infrastructure already exists. The routes are already established. For Amazon, this means they wouldn't need to negotiate new flight paths or establish new partnerships. They could integrate Jamaica into their existing network almost immediately. But air connectivity is just the beginning. Jamaica operates a 24/7 air cargo terminal with fast customs clearance. In many countries, customs can be the death of logistics efficiency. Goods sit in warehouses waiting for inspections. Paperwork gets delayed. Shipments that should take hours end up taking days. Jamaica has invested heavily in streamlining this process. Their customs systems are designed for speed, allowing goods to flow through rapidly without sacrificing security. For a company like Amazon that lives and dies by delivery speed, this operational efficiency is worth its weight in gold. Now let's talk about ocean freight. Jamaica's Kingston port isn't just any port. This is one of the largest transshipment hubs in the entire Caribbean. The facility handles massive volumes of containerized cargo and is strategically positioned to serve not just Jamaica, but neighboring islands throughout the region. Amazon could use Kingston Port as a distribution point where goods arrive by sea from Asia, Europe, and South America, then get redistributed to dozens of smaller Caribbean islands. This creates massive efficiency gains and reduces costs across the entire region. Geography is another factor that strengthens Jamaica's position. The country is centrally located between North and South America. Look at a map and you'll see what I mean. The island is positioned to serve as a bridge between the U.S. market and the growing Latin American market. It can reach Caribbean islands to the east, Central American countries to the west, and South American nations to the south with relatively similar transit times. This geographic advantage isn't just about distance. Remember, Amazon already has the Dominican Republic hub on the eastern side of the Caribbean. By adding Jamaica on the western side, they create coverage across the entire region. Shipping routes become more efficient, delivery times become more consistent, and the network becomes more resilient because no single hub is trying to serve too large an area. There's also a factor that matters enormously in practical operations: language. Jamaica is an English-speaking country, sharing that linguistic connection with Amazon's U.S.-based operations. Customer service representatives need to communicate clearly. Warehouse managers need to coordinate with U.S. supervisors. Technical teams need to troubleshoot problems in real time. When you're operating in an English-speaking environment, all these processes become dramatically simpler. Training can be rolled out faster. Integration with existing systems happens more smoothly. This isn't about one language being better than another. It's about operational efficiency and seamless integration. Now let's talk about economic impact, because an Amazon logistics hub goes far beyond just faster package delivery. When Amazon establishes a major facility in a country, it creates a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. First, there are the direct jobs: warehouse workers, logistics coordinators, truck drivers, customs specialists, technology staff, management personnel. We're talking about potentially thousands of direct employment opportunities. But the indirect economic impact is even larger. Local trucking companies get contracts. Real estate around the hub increases in value. Restaurants and services emerge to cater to workers. Technology infrastructure gets upgraded. Training programs prepare workers for logistics careers. And perhaps most significantly, local businesses gain access to global markets in ways that were previously impossible. A Jamaican entrepreneur making hot sauce, crafting jewelry, or producing specialty coffee can suddenly tap into Amazon's massive distribution network. Products that might have only reached local markets can now be shipped to customers in Miami, New York, London, or Tokyo. This is how logistics infrastructure transforms into economic opportunity. But there's something even bigger at play here. Amazon isn't just thinking about the Caribbean. The company is thinking about Latin America and how to serve massive and growing markets in Central and South America without being completely dependent on traditional hubs in the United States. For decades, Miami has been the primary gateway for goods flowing between the U.S. and Latin America. Almost everything has funneled through South Florida, creating massive congestion, high costs, and logistical bottlenecks. By establishing hubs in the Caribbean, Amazon is creating alternative pathways. Goods can flow from Asia to the Dominican Republic, then redistribute throughout the Caribbean and Latin America without ever touching Miami. Products manufactured in South America can ship through Jamaica to reach U.S. markets without fighting for space in overcrowded Florida ports. This isn't just about serving Caribbean customers. This is about building a parallel supply chain network that gives Amazon more options, more flexibility, and more control. And this is why Jamaica's potential role is so critical. The country isn't just positioned to serve its immediate neighbors. It's positioned to become a major node in a hemispheric logistics network. When you start thinking at that scale, the economic implications become staggering. We're talking about a strategic hub that could facilitate billions of dollars in trade flows between continents. Let me paint a picture of what this could look like. Imagine a manufacturer in Colombia produces electronics components. Instead of shipping them to Miami and then redistributing them to Caribbean customers, they could ship directly to Kingston Port. From there, Amazon's network distributes those components to buyers throughout the Caribbean, all while maintaining fast delivery times and competitive pricing. Meanwhile, a coffee producer in Jamaica ships beans through the same hub to reach customers in the United States, Europe, and Asia. The hub works both ways, facilitating imports and exports, creating a truly bidirectional flow of goods. Now, some of you might be thinking, if this is such an obvious opportunity, why hasn't it happened already? The answer lies in understanding how Amazon makes these decisions. The company doesn't move recklessly. They test. They analyze. They wait for infrastructure to reach certain thresholds of readiness. The Dominican Republic hub that just launched was years in the making, with careful negotiations, infrastructure assessments, and strategic planning. Jamaica has been building the necessary foundations for years. The upgrades to Kingston Port, the improvements to customs processing, the maintenance of reliable cargo flight connections to the U.S. All these elements have been falling into place. And now, with the Dominican Republic hub operational and proving the viability of the Caribbean logistics model, the timing for Jamaica's emergence as the next hub has never been better. There's also a competitive element. Amazon isn't the only logistics giant eyeing the Caribbean and Latin America. Companies like DHL, FedEx, and regional logistics operators are all looking to expand their reach and capture market share. If Amazon hesitates too long, they risk seeing competitors secure strategic locations first. In the logistics industry, first-mover advantage can be decisive. The company that secures the best locations and builds the strongest infrastructure often maintains dominance for decades. What would an Amazon hub in Jamaica actually look like. Based on the Dominican Republic model, we can make educated predictions. The facility would likely be positioned near both Norman Manley International Airport and Kingston Port, maximizing access to both air and sea transportation. The hub would incorporate advanced technology including automated sorting systems, real-time inventory tracking, and sophisticated routing algorithms. Employment could scale into the thousands, with positions ranging from entry-level warehouse workers to highly skilled logistics engineers and data analysts. Amazon would likely partner with local educational institutions to create training programs, ensuring a steady pipeline of qualified workers. The company might also establish relationships with local businesses to handle last-mile delivery, creating opportunities for Jamaican entrepreneurs. The ripple effects on related industries would be substantial. Cold storage facilities might be built for perishable goods. Packaging companies would emerge to serve businesses using the hub. Technology firms would establish operations to support the digital infrastructure. Even sectors like food service and hospitality would see increased demand. But perhaps the most transformative impact would be on Jamaica's position in the global economy. Currently, many Caribbean nations are viewed primarily through the lens of tourism. By becoming a major logistics hub, Jamaica would establish itself as a serious player in global commerce. The country would be known not just for vacation experiences, but as a critical link in supply chains moving billions of dollars in goods annually. This kind of transformation changes how international companies view a country. It attracts foreign investment. It creates demand for upgraded infrastructure. It positions the nation as a place where serious business happens. And it provides economic diversification, reducing dependence on tourism and creating resilience against shocks like we saw when COVID-19 shut down global travel. There's also a technological dimension. Modern logistics hubs aren't just about moving boxes. They're sophisticated technology operations generating massive amounts of data and requiring cutting-edge systems. An Amazon hub in Jamaica would likely bring significant technology infrastructure, high-speed internet connectivity, advanced data centers, and systems integration capabilities. This technology infrastructure doesn't just serve Amazon's needs. It creates a foundation other businesses can leverage. Tech startups can tap into improved connectivity. E-commerce companies can build on Amazon's logistics backbone. Digital service providers can reach customers more effectively. Advanced technology infrastructure tends to catalyze innovation and entrepreneurship in ways that extend far beyond its original purpose. Let's also consider the environmental angle. By creating a more efficient distribution network across the Caribbean, Amazon could actually reduce the environmental impact of shipping goods to the region. Instead of dozens of partially filled container ships making inefficient routes to small islands, goods could be consolidated at major hubs and distributed using more optimal paths. Air freight could be reserved for time-sensitive items, while slower-moving products use more fuel-efficient ocean transport. When will Amazon actually announce a Jamaican hub? That's harder to predict. The Dominican Republic hub is still in its early operational phase. Amazon will want to see performance data, understand demand patterns, and optimize systems before committing to the next major expansion. However, given the pace at which Amazon typically moves once they've validated a strategy, an announcement within the next 12 to 24 months wouldn't be surprising. What we might see first are smaller signals. Amazon could announce expanded delivery options to Jamaica. The company might establish partnerships with Jamaican logistics providers. There could be investments in technology infrastructure or discussions about customs procedures. These preliminary moves often precede major facility announcements. It's worth considering alternative scenarios. While Jamaica appears to be the strongest candidate, other countries could potentially compete. Puerto Rico has advantages as a U.S. territory. Trinidad and Tobago has significant port capacity and strategic location near South America. The Bahamas sits close to Florida with strong U.S. market connections. Each location has merits, though when you weigh all factors together, Jamaica's combination of infrastructure, location, and operational readiness remains unmatched. Let's zoom out and think about what this means in the bigger picture of global commerce. We're witnessing a fundamental reshaping of how goods move around the world. For decades, global trade followed relatively predictable patterns with major hubs in a handful of cities. But as e-commerce has exploded and consumer expectations for delivery speed have increased, we're seeing the emergence of new hubs in previously underserved regions. The Caribbean is one of these emerging logistics frontiers. The region sits at a geographic crossroads between major markets, yet it has been historically underserved by modern distribution infrastructure. That's changing rapidly, and the countries that position themselves effectively stand to gain enormously. This isn't just about packages arriving faster. It's about economic integration, market access, and participation in global commerce at a level that wasn't possible for small island nations a generation ago. For the Caribbean nations themselves, this presents both opportunities and challenges. The opportunities are clear: economic development, job creation, infrastructure investment, and integration into global trade networks. The challenges involve ensuring growth is sustainable, benefits are distributed equitably, and increased economic activity doesn't come at the expense of environmental quality or social cohesion. Let's talk numbers. The Caribbean region has a combined population of about 45 million people. Add in the potential reach into Central America and Northern South America, and you're looking at a customer base of several hundred million people. If Amazon can effectively serve this market with faster delivery times and competitive pricing, the revenue opportunity runs into billions of dollars annually. And remember, this isn't just about retail sales. Amazon's logistics infrastructure also supports Amazon Web Services, which provides cloud computing to businesses across the region. It supports Prime Video, which needs content delivery networks positioned close to viewers. It supports Kindle and digital media distribution. Every aspect of Amazon's business benefits from having strategic infrastructure positioned closer to customers. The Dominican Republic hub is already demonstrating this integrated approach. It's not just moving packages. It's enabling digital services. It's supporting business-to-business commerce. It's creating a platform that Amazon can build upon for years. A Jamaican hub would follow the same model, creating value across multiple dimensions simultaneously. There's also the competitive intelligence angle. By establishing hubs throughout the Caribbean, Amazon gains detailed understanding of consumer behavior, market dynamics, and business opportunities across the entire region. This data becomes invaluable for making future investment decisions, launching new services, and optimizing existing operations. So where does this leave us? We started by talking about Amazon's announcement of a new logistics hub in the Dominican Republic, and we've traced the implications through multiple layers of strategy, economics, and regional development. The conclusion is clear. The Dominican Republic is just the beginning of Amazon's Caribbean expansion. The infrastructure is in place for rapid growth. The economic incentives are compelling, and the strategic logic points decisively toward Jamaica as the next major hub location. For businesses, the message is clear. The ability to move products quickly and reliably across international borders is becoming a decisive competitive advantage. Companies that can leverage sophisticated logistics networks like the one Amazon is building will reach more customers, respond more quickly to demand, and operate more efficiently. And for consumers, the transformation underway means that distance matters less than it used to. Whether you're on a small Caribbean island or in a major metropolitan center, access to global products and services is becoming more equal. The package you order online could travel thousands of miles through a sophisticated network of planes, ships, warehouses, and delivery vehicles, arriving at your door in days rather than weeks. The billion-dollar logistics chess game is far from over. Every move Amazon makes creates opportunities and challenges for competitors, local governments, businesses, and consumers. The pieces are still moving on the board. The Dominican Republic hub is now in place. The question is not whether Amazon will make their next move in the Caribbean, but when that announcement will come and how quickly the entire region will transform as a result. Jamaica sits waiting, perhaps not fully realizing that it's positioned on one of the most strategic squares on that chessboard. The infrastructure is ready. The location is ideal. The potential is enormous. And if history is any guide, Amazon doesn't leave strategic opportunities unexploited for very long. So keep watching the Caribbean. Pay attention to logistics announcements. Notice when Amazon expands delivery options or announces new partnerships. Because each of these moves is a piece in a larger game, and that game is reshaping how an entire region connects with the global economy. The age of isolated island nations with limited market access is ending. The age of integrated regional logistics networks connecting the Caribbean to the world is beginning. The question isn't whether this future will arrive. The question is which countries will position themselves to lead in this new era, which businesses will seize the opportunities it creates, and which communities will benefit most from the economic transformation that sophisticated logistics infrastructure makes possible. For Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, the pieces are on the board. The next move is coming, and the implications will echo through the region's economy for generations to come. This is the real story behind Amazon's Caribbean expansion. It's not just about faster packages or convenient shopping. It's about power, positioning, and the patient construction of infrastructure that will shape regional commerce for decades. And now that you understand the strategy behind the moves, you'll be able to see the next developments coming before almost anyone else notices what's really happening.